Another day, another breakout attempt from the EURUSD. Is this going to be the one that sends the market higher, or will the pair stay range bound for one more day? I'll have all the answers in today's video, including key levels to watch and also targets, including one that I bet you haven't seen yet, and also the latest on the DXY, including key levels and that market potentially breaking down here on Monday. Now, as always, if you want my help with your trading, be sure to check out the link in the description of this video for 85% off lifetime access to the VIP Discord. That's going to give you lifetime access to my trades in real time, entry, stop loss, take profit, also VIP only videos, real-time trade updates, setups throughout the day, and also full access to the course. And as I've said before, guys, that price will be going up this month. I can't say exactly when. However, it will be going up soon just because that's the time we live in. Unfortunately, my costs have gone up to run the website and to run all the social media platforms. So therefore, I have to, unfortunately pass that on a little bit. I have kept this price low, though, for over 5 years. So it's been a long time, guys, since we've had a price increase, and it's about time to do that. So let's get right into it, guys. Looking at the EURUSD here on the daily time frame. So obviously, a lot of failed attempts from this market trying to break out throughout August and in the first part of September here. You can see that we have the market for the most part, over the past few weeks going sideways here between this area up here around 117.20 and the region down here around 115.80. So for the most part, a very back and forth market. And as I've said recently, even though we have seen some nice swings within this range, it has been a little bit difficult to play just because you have such volatile movements within this. And even back here, you look at this right here, if you were shorting this, right, you had several attempts where the market continued to come up here toward this resistance area. The same thing down here in this region with these lows as well. So again, it has been a little bit difficult to trade, even if you are a range trader, even if you were trading this range here between these two levels. Now, the market at the moment here on Monday is trying to break out. Okay, so the key word there is trying, because first of all, we don't have a lot on the event calendar. So liquidity is a little bit light here today and potentially on Tuesday as well. So that is something to keep in mind here for the EURUSD. There's not a lot here triggering this move. It is early in the week, so be really careful with this breakout, guys. Again, we've seen a lot of failed attempts from the EURUSD in the past few weeks. So what it's going to take from this market to finally break out is a daily close above this area around 117.20. Now, if it can do this and hold above here on a daily closing basis, so in other words, if it closes above today, holds above it on Tuesday, we see the market bounce from this area and hold above over the coming days, then that could finally give us a push here toward this high back here. Also, that unfinished auction up there around 118.10 from back there on July 3rd. Okay, so this is going to be the area to keep an eye on the EURUSD if we do get the break above. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking that there's not a lot of room to play with here for the EURUSD, and you would be right. However, at the same time, though, if we move out here, and this is a level that I'm betting you probably haven't seen yet because it requires moving all the way out to the low from back here in 2022. So what I'm going to do is go to the weekly time frame. Okay, so I'm going to remove this level here that we discussed in recent videos. That's that 40-year trend line that we talked about before, that the euro is technically above now in the high time frames. But the one I want to talk about in today's video is going to come off of this 2022 low down here. So if we take a parallel channel up here, I'm going to turn on the weak magnet tool over here so that I can snap it to these levels. And so if I snap it there to the low, snap it off of this low down here, I'm going to extend this over. And then over here, if we take this level up here off of this high, what you're going to notice is that we have a very well-defined equidistant channel from that 2022 low connecting with the 2025 low. We have this high up here from 2023, and then also this recent high here from the euro. So technically, you could have drawn this channel recently, okay, off of these highs and lows, and this right here would have given you an indication of where the euro was likely to struggle here in 2025, and sure enough, that's exactly where it did struggle. So if we move in here and go to the daily time frame, right, and move over, what you'll notice is that, actually, you know what, let me turn this on so it's visible on the daily as well. So if we come in here, double click on this and visibility, let's go to days as well and go back here to the daily time frame. What you'll notice is that this high from right back here, this was that July high. Okay, so that's also the top of that 2022 channel. So the reason this is significant is because if we do see the euro break out from this range right here, it would be very easy for us to look back here at these highs from all the way back here in 2021 and just say, okay, there's a gap back here, which there is, right? There's an imbalance back here in this region that could be targeted over the coming weeks and months. However, at the same time, the level that comes into play, a very significant level that comes into play before that, is going to be up there just above these recent highs around 118.10. So you've got these highs back here, but again, you've got this ascending level back there off of that 2022 low. That's the top of that ascending channel. So again, if we move over, right, it's hard to tell where this level might come in. if we finally see the euro break out here, right? Because it could be up here, it could be somewhere over here. But the point is that this area right up around 119, maybe just above, is going to be one to watch through the end of September, potentially early October. Now, again, this only applies if the euro can break out above here and hold above this week. If it closes above today and closes below tomorrow, then that right there is a failed breakout, and we're looking at that push lower, okay? So that's really important, guys. The market has to hold above 117.20 over the coming days for this to matter, okay? So this is not a breakout call right now because, again, this video is being filmed with 6 hours left in today's session, so a lot could happen in 6 hours. The euro could close right back below here, and we're still range bound, all right? So keep that in mind that the requirement for the euro to target some of these higher levels throughout the rest of September is going to hinge on the market holding above 117.20 over the coming days. Now, looking at the DXY, a similar situation for this market, and this is a little bit different because you can see where the euro has this ascending level up here above this high that comes in up there, you know, around 119, maybe just below. And on the DXY, you can see where we have this level down here. Now, let's talk about what's happening so far today. Then we'll get to this area around 96.70 and why that's significant for the US dollar index. So very similar to the euro, we have the market range bound here over the past few weeks. 97.7 has been that level to break. So far, it has not broken below on a daily closing basis because keep in mind that Friday did close above it. Okay, so Friday was trading down here, right? And then it closed the week back above. So as of right now here on Monday, again, we do have several hours left in today's session, so keep that in mind. But if today's session does close below, this area flips to new resistance, and then you're looking at a move down here toward this low, right around 97.20, and then potentially that area around 96.70, 96.60. So we've discussed this before, but the reason this is significant back here is you have two unfinished auctions from back here in July. Now, what does that mean? For those of you new to this channel, an unfinished auction simply means that the market profile at this time, based on the way the market formed these lows, the price action at the time, signaled that sellers were not finished. Okay, so a lot of times areas like this do get revisited by markets. Look no further than this low back here. I've had this level at 97.43 on my chart now for several weeks, long before Friday's session, and you can see where Friday's low came right into that area and then bounced. So markets love to revisit areas like this. It doesn't mean it will happen, but I think if we get that sustained break below areas like 97.7, then we finally could see the DXY unravel toward that 96.70 area. Now, another reason this is significant for the DXY is if we go to the monthly time frame. We've discussed this many times here on this channel, but if you'll notice, off of this low from back here in 2011, we've got these lows through here and these recent lows. So that level right there, that ascending trend line that you see here on the daily time frame, this is that 2011 channel support, okay? So if you're trading the euro, if you're trading the pound, whatever it might be, you really have to watch this area down here around 96.70 if we get it. If we get the DXY breaking below today here early this week and holding below this and then trending lower over the coming days, down here towards some of these lows, keep a very close eye on this area down here, guys. In my opinion, you do not want to be short the US dollar into this area, okay? Being bearish on the market on a close below here is one thing. If the market gets down here, though, you really don't want to be bearish, in my opinion, because even if that doesn't become the low for the US dollar, you're likely to get a lot of buying pressure down there and a significant bounce. All right, so all things to consider, but again, for the DXY, really the market has to get below this area around 97.70 to confirm the breakout. Like the EURUSD, though, if it were to close below and then close right back above, that would be a failed break, and that would be bullish for the US dollar, okay? So all things to consider, guys. Still, several hours left here in Monday's session, so we'll have to wait and see where these markets close the day to see if we finally get that breakout here from the DXY, and the same thing there for the EURUSD above that 117.20 area. All right, I hope the video helped, guys. If it did, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also hit that like button, and don't forget to join us in VIP. Claim your 85% off lifetime access to the VIP Discord group. See the link in the description of this video. I will see you on the inside. Trade well up there, and I will talk to you again on Tuesday.